Okay, so this is my first time giving this a shot, so bear with me. I am going to do my best. I'm currently working on gesture drawing. I think I'm about, I would say about a year into drawing, like really taking it seriously and learning how to draw. And a friend of mine, Casey the Icon, shout out to Casey, has me doing a little bit of a homework assignment. And the homework assignment is to do 100 gesture drawings. Keep it loose, keep it simple, and don't forget simple shapes and then building into more intricate parts of the figure. So I want to say this is number 32, which is crazy because I've been doing this now for like 2-3 weeks. I usually get maybe 1 or 2 drawings done every 1 or 2 days. So right now I do have an image that I'm using as a reference, and it's off camera. Obviously, it's a woman standing. She's got kind of a not Laura Croft. What is that? The Marvel character, Black Widow. She got kind of a Black Widow thing going on. She's supposed to have like knives in her hands, but I didn't want to overcomplicate it. I wanted to make it simple. So right around here, I'm starting off with the basic shapes. So I have my basic head, which is a circle. I have a rectangle for the body, and then 2 cylinders for the legs, starting off with sticks to add some structure to the form. And as I'm drawing here, it's funny. My hands were cramping. I was actually pretty uncomfortable. This is my first time really filming myself doing all of this, and I think I was kind of getting in my head a little bit. But I do have this understanding that the idea here is to make a simple shape and kind of treat it like, we'll say like marble, like in ancient Greece when they would carve statues into marble. You need a big slab of marble, simple marble, and then you find the intricacies as you chip away at the marble. So that was my logic here. My logic is make the shape almost a little too big. This isn't the actual shape of the person. Make it a little too big, and then slowly chip away at the size of the shape to make it smaller and fit the actual dimensions of the figure that I'm trying to draw. I've also noticed that I have a tendency to start off with the legs in terms of my details, so I'm trying to make sure I don't get too, I don't want to say stiff, but too repetitive. I have a tendency, as if I keep doing this, I have a tendency to, what's the word? I have a tendency to get myself into ruts. I find something that's comfortable, and if it seems comfortable, I will do it over and over and over, and I'll get very good at it. I will get very good at doing something one particular way. But it's also important for me to step out of my comfort zone. So up here, I'm trying to make sure that I don't only focus on the legs and then build up, but I try to. I want to make sure that I'm adding details on the top and the bottom, and they kind of come together. I'm also noticing, this is my first time doing this, I'm watching myself. I'm watching myself as I'm drawing, and I'm realizing my hand is completely in the way. So I guess if I'm right-handed, this is a learning process, guys, so whoever wants to hop on board at the ground floor and watch this get better, here you go. I'm realizing if I'm right-handed, I need to set up the camera on the left side so you can actually see what the fuck I'm drawing. I'm cursing. I should. Whatever. This is the first video. I curse. That's part of me. So what I like about this so far is there's a little bit of a flow, and I like the stretch and squash on the torso. that upper part there where the character is kind of leaning a little to the left. I think I have a better understanding of that as of recent. When I first started drawing figures, it would be incredibly stiff. You know, somebody would say you draw a square for a rectangle, for example, for the torso. Draw a rectangle, and that is very literally what I would draw. Just draw a very simple rectangle, and then I would add some dimension to it. But the problem there is it would be so stiff, robotic, and I don't think there's anything wrong with gesture looking stiff if that's your intention. But that was definitely not my intention. You know, I wanted something fluid and something that had a lot of motion to it, and I think I've kind of improved on that. Yeah, I'm putting my hand away right now and shaking it because I don't know how these manga people do it. I've seen videos, I've heard horror stories of manga artists just basically being put in sweatshops. They're just in these tiny 50 by 50 foot square studio apartments just drawing their lives away. It's funny how when you envision working in the arts, it seems like it would just be a game. It would be silly. It would be easy. Oh, you're just playing around. But no, it's work. It is absolutely work. I'm drawing one figure. This is an 11-minute long video. And my hand was... There it is again. There it is again. My hand is already cramping. I'm already kind of frustrated. I feel like around this part, I was starting to lose confidence. I decided I was going to push through anyway, but around this part of the figure, I'm losing confidence. I'm not liking the way these legs are looking. They don't feel grounded. You know, I think if I had put, I don't know what they would be called, quick lines at the very top, it would look like the character is falling. This character doesn't feel grounded on the floor at the moment. I know eventually I'm gonna add some shadow, which is gonna help that feeling, but that's where we're at. This is really bothering me. The fact that my hand is completely in the way. I can't believe this. I'm gonna put it out there regardless. I think there is a beauty in watching somebody improve and slowly figure things out, but I will say that is super frustrating to watch. I don't know if there's any other artists watching this, or if there's any people. I don't know what the demographic is for ASMR drawing. For me, I love the sound of the pencil or the pen scraping on the paper. There's something just so incredibly soothing about that. And then as far as voice ASMR, I know I'm supposed to be, and I gotta make sounds like that. And I gotta whisper and make sounds so you feel relaxed. I don't know. I'll play with this, but this is just how I speak. All right, so now I'm adding some shading, and I'm being very haphazard about it. At this point, my headspace was like, let's just get this over with. Let's just knock this out, please. And so I'm doing some very, very quick shading. The light, from my perspective, would be coming from the right. Coming from where my hand is completely in the way of the actual figure. The light should be coming from that direction. And, simple, with my very rudimentary understanding of shading. Wherever the light goes, the shadow's on the opposite side. Very simple. And then, boom, I realize, yeah, that's my hand, figuring out kind of where the shadow should be moving. And, yeah, as we can see here, very sloppy, very simple, just trying to get this shit done, when you've been, I don't know if anyone's in college or school watching this, when you're in school and you just want to get the thing done, you just start, it's like when you're taking a multiple choice test and you don't know what the fucking answer is. You're gonna bubble in C, like a lot. I'm bubbling in C right now. I'm just trying to knock this out as fast as possible at this point. But I do think that shadow, it does add dimension. It adds dimension to the character. And I think I'm realizing that's incredibly important. These little things like the shadows and the contour lines, where your shadow is placed, how your line is drawn in terms of its confidence. You know, people would say to me, Casey specifically would say to me, like, draw with confidence, draw a line with confidence. And I had no fucking idea what he was talking about for the longest time. And now I think I'm starting to understand. If I had to put it into words, drawing a line with confidence is almost not caring if it's perfect, not caring if it's quite the right dimension. To go back to the marble idea, it's you're chipping away at it. So if I draw one line that's not exactly perfect, it's okay. I'm going to come back over it and I'm going to chip away at that shape, make it smaller, make it more clear. Yeah, I would say this is definitely not my favorite drawing. Yeah, I'm tapping out. I'm tapping out. This is definitely not my favorite drawing. But look at me putting down the pen. I just tapped out. Well, this was a nice little experiment.